pandemic. This is not new things that happens in the history of mankind. People in the past were facing all kind of this pandemic, like Black Death, Spanish flu, Ebola, and so on. When this thing happened, men are confused to find the cure, find the way to stop the spread. And if you're thinking that if people then have the same technology to develop medicine like we are right now, well, you are in a big mistake. Because in 2019, a new virus has been found and responsible for the death of 3 million people in the entire world in just 1 year. Not only dying because of disease, but people also dying because of the policy that people need to stay away from each other to not spread the virus. This makes everything that normally complicated getting more complicated. Like the educational system. I'm saying that because until right now, we have to do an online learning or distance learning. Now, if you wonder, is it that bad to do online learning? Or are things become more difficult, efficient, and more convenient? Well, here's my answer to those questions. I will be talking about things that I don't like about online learning. And this is based on my experience of being college students during this pandemic for 2 whole semesters. And it could be more. Well, the first things that I wanted to say is distance learning makes me less motivated to learn some subject. Some subjects that need practice, like speaking, are really hard to learn when you don't have someone to talk to. I'm the kind of person that takes not short time to understand some lessons. I have to really know the details of the things that I was learning. I also have to get that eagerness to study that lessons. And to achieve that, I need a big amount of motivation. But when it comes to online learning, I lost most of the reason why I studied a subject. This thing could happen because I not meet personally with the teacher or my friends to get my motivation back. Well, look, I'm not the kind of person that has a need to socialize, have a lot of friends, or hang out here and there. If I have to be honest, personally, I like this kind of conditions where I can make a really good excuse when I don't want to go outside. I like to chill out in my room, playing some games or watching some movies. But in this case of formal education, I really need company. So this kind of situations make me anxious that my grade will be not passing the standard and end up with the bad things that could happen in the future. The next thing is technology. I have to admit that online learning will be normally happen in the future, where the things become more efficient and cheap. Well, I say in the future, not right now. This pandemic forced us, the world, to jump into the future where the humans don't need to go anywhere to do something. But our technology now couldn't do that. Well, yet. All of things still expensive. The technology is not spread evenly, and the blackout could happen anytime. Those things really disrupt the learning process. Well, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have an exam, and the deadline is 2 hours ahead. The exam is on a Google form that it will be closed within 2 hours. But suddenly, out of nowhere, there is a blackout in your regions for 3 hours. So all of the work that you are due is gone. and you have to do it in another time, which will mess up your schedule for that week. That was actually not the worst case. Why? Because what about you have a synchronous exam that require you to do an online meeting, like speaking or listening? It can be so much worse. Well, as you can see, how things become messed up for just one problem when we do an online learning. To sum up, I hate to say that we have to admit online learning is the best thing that we can do right now. Even though there's a lot of problems when it comes to online learning, well, we still need to do it. So our education is not left behind too far from another country. We have to swallow the bitterness of the medicine if we want to recover from our disease. And that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.